All right, chapter 3.5, multiply with regrouping. Now this is the name for the way that we typically multiply. This is the standard way. This is how we usually do it. So we're going to think about multiplying 93 times 25. And we're going to estimate. So we're going to say 90, because that rounds down, and 30, because that rounds to 25 rounds up. And 90 times 30, 9 times 3 is 27. Plus our two zeros, so 2,700. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Now we're going to move on down the road to regular multiplication. And we're going to start with 25. Just write it down here. 25 times 93. Okay, so let's do step 1 of this problem. And we need to recognize that the step 1 is just 3. We're going to use the ones place, and we're going to multiply it by the 25. And it's regrouping because we're going to multiply just individually. 3 times 5 is 15, and it's regrouping because we have to carry that 1. 3 times 5 is 15, 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. So 25 times 3 is 75, and that's the first step. The second step is to multiply 25 times 9. So we'll go ahead and get a different color, and we're going to do 9 times both of these numbers. 9 times 5 is 45. Oop. Remember, I'm multiplying 9, but I'm really multiplying 90. So I have to remember to add a 0 here. I almost didn't. Add this 0 and then move over a step. 9 times 5 is 45. 9 times 2 is 18, plus 4 is 22. Now, it's crucial that you remember to add this 0. This is super important. It holds that place value. We're not just multiplying by 9, we're really multiplying by 90. And so we've got to move over to the tens place. Okay, and the last step, the third step, is sort of the adding the partial products. And we're going to just go ahead and do that. 5 plus 0. 7 plus 5 is 12. Carry that 1. 2 plus 1 is 3, and then we have 2, and so our answer is 2,325. And that's a little smaller than our estimate, but I rounded all the way up to 25, up to 30 from 25. So I would expect my estimate to be a little bit bigger because I rounded up farther than I rounded down. And anyway, that's how you do it. And we're just going to do a couple just to make sure. Okay, let's do 60 times 17. You also could do 17 times 60. It's going to give you a slightly different look, but it's going to actually have exactly the same answer. In fact, I'm going to do both of these just so you can see it. 7 times 0 is 0. 7 times 6 is 42. Now coming down to this 10, I have to remember to start with my 0. 1 times 0 is 0, and 1 times 6 is 6. And then I add 0 plus 0, 2 plus 0, 4 plus 6 is 10. All right, come over here and try this one. And we get kind of an interesting thing because 0 times 7 is 0 and 0 times 1 is 0. We've used up all of our zeros right away. We move down to the 6, but that's really 60, so I have to add my extra 0. And 6 times 7 is 42, and 6 times 1 is 6, plus 4 is 10. Now when I add, I really already have my answer. You can see that it's there, but I add, and I get the same thing. Okay? Alright, so this assignment just goes like that over and over and over again, although there's a couple of story problems and things like that. As long as you can multiply, you'll get through this quickly.